Yay, we made it back in. Thank you for your patience. Here we are. I am going to say my announcement again because we had a few people that just joined us. So I'm Ilsa Greatorex-Duncan. I'm a regenerative health practitioner. This is my team, McKenzie, Shoults, and Jessalyn. And we are going to teach you about the processes of the human body today, how you can regenerate yourself naturally, some things that are happening in the human health crisis that we would like to be paying attention to as far as how best to support our bodies through it, and some sustainable solutions for us. So what is regenerative health? It is a system of reversing discomfort and disease by addressing the root cause in the body. So we can restore the body by flooding it with high quality nutrients and minerals, making specific diet shifts, and supporting the organs and glands with herbs and tinctures. A lot of people don't realize this, but there are totally natural ways at restoring your health. When we give the body the right environment and the right support, you can reverse almost anything, and I mean anything. So our body is a self-cleaning system. Our lymphatic system is just as long as it's miles and miles long, and the blood feeds the body, so it's flowing all over all of our organs and glands and cells and tissues. And the lymphatic system also flows through the body, but it is a different channel. And all of our cellular waste, all of our cells have to eat and poop just like we do. And all of that cellular waste goes into the lymph, and then it has to be carried down to the kidneys and the adrenals to be excreted. So whatever we are eating, drinking, or breathing, or putting on our skin is all how waste enters the body, and it has to be removed through the lymph. McKenzie, would you like to take this slide?
Yes. So we have 4 different ways of elimination in our body, hence the elimination pathways. Kidneys, colon, skin, and lungs all play in a huge part with all of this. Just like what Ilsa was saying on the slide before, everything that we eat, drink, put on our skin, inhale, has to either be absorbed into our body in a positive way or eliminated in most of the times a negative way. So that creates a lot of stress on the system, a lot of stress on the body for using 10% of that little thing or that thing that we put into our body, and then 90% of it has to be eliminated. So with these, it's that lovely little saying of when you, if you listen to the body whisper, you don't have to hear it scream. So big part of that is elimination. Screaming starts to happen when we are eliminating everything that we are putting in our body and that we don't need it. So it's just your body giving you signals that it needs more support. When we're covering up these symptoms of overstimulation, over elimination, there's going to be a lot more inflammation, a lot more stress on the body. And with that type of stress and inflammation, diseases start to occur.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jessalyn, do you want to take this slide?
All right. So as McKenzie was saying, the body is always speaking to us, but we are also an alkaline species. So when we are consuming all of these acids and processed foods, it is showing up in our bodies as inflammation. So because we are an alkaline species, our body is always working hard to kind of realkalize us. And the body will kind of rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. So if we're kind of lacking in one area, the body will take calcium from the bones to make up for another area in the body. So that's why it's super important that we are in an alkalized state.
Yes. And like a stage 4 cancer patient has the pH of around like 6.8, whereas the average body, we should be 7.4 pH. So let's talk about the science behind it, acids and bases. So an acidic body, what happens in an acidic body? It causes an inflammatory state. Acids burn, inflame, and destroy your tissues and cells. This is no joke. It's just the nature and the science of it. Hormones become out of balance due to this. Your cells start clumping together, which creates malabsorption, cellular death, and this can lead to strokes and the like. Fats, minerals, and constituents begin bonding together, so this can cause stones in the liver, gallbladder, and kidneys. There is congestion and excess mucus formation, which is the root cause of 99% of all illness. It is, oh, we are in, yeah. So my slide, oh my God, come back. So it is not beneficial for us to be eating acidic foods all the time because we are going to create this inflammatory state in our system. So we need to bring balance into the body. And if we have a really acidic body, we have to give it some extra support in order to release these wastes because we've got that buildup and that stagnation in the system. So an alkaline body is cooling and anti-inflammatory. Cells disperse and flow freely around one another. It's building electrolytes in your system. You have proper cellular respiration. You have optimized nutrient transportation. So your body's actually carrying nutrients all over the place in the most optimal way. It is detoxifying and rehydrating. It enhances all of your cellular functions and it creates an environment where your cells can actually repair themselves. Because the body is designed to repair itself, but only when it's in the right environment. So let's talk about macros versus micros just a little bit because there's a lot of misconceptions about this in our society. Our macros are our proteins, carbs, fats, and our micros are our amino acids, our vitamins, and our minerals. So think about how the body can utilize these nutrients that you're feeding it as far as when we are eating protein, any form of protein really, most proteins are 11 to 36% bioavailable. And the body has to break that down in order to utilize it no matter what. Proteins are just strings of amino acids. And we can't use the protein, we use the amino acid. So our body has to use a bunch of energy to break apart those amino acids, and then it won't use all of them. It's like, oh, this amino goes over here, and that amino goes over there. And these other aminos, we don't know what to do with, so they're getting tossed into the lymphatic system. And this is how this buildup starts happening because all of this complex breakdown has to happen. And we can't use it all. So macros also put a lot of pressure on the kidneys and the liver. And we also have to get our essential amino acids from plants. 11 of our essential amino acids we have to get from plants, and 9 of them can be made inside of the body. So amino acids, again, they are the building blocks of the body and essential for human basic function. So when we're eating meat, we're actually getting secondhand amino acids as far as those essential plant ones from the plants that the animal was eating. Jessalyn, do you want to take the lead on soil health here?
Absolutely. So soil health and our fast farming practices have pretty much dried out our soils. So as Ilsa was saying, like we need the essential amino acids to be properly functioning. And if we are not getting these, then we are going to be not excelling. But so pretty much we get the essential amino acids from the soil, and due to fast farming practices, they are depleted. So the intentions were good, but it is costing us now. And let's see, soil health, 1% of America's food is organic, much less than 1% is regeneratively farmed using nutrient-dense soil. And if our soil is not nutrient-dense, our food is empty fuel. And let's see. Yeah, next slide for me, Elsa. Thank you. Okay, so how did we get here? So after World War II, the United States turned its excess petroleum into chemical fertilizers for our food. And so this was called the Green Revolution, because all of a sudden, after struggling through the Dust Bowl and not having as much food at our fingertips, we started outsourcing for more food. And when we started adding this petroleum to the crops, it was making the food very like green, and it looked like it was full of life. However, on the inside of it was completely depleted of all of its nutrients. And so when this happens, it makes the plant weak. And also then that's why pests started coming, because the plants were weakened, and then we needed more pesticides to help kill all of the pests. So we're pretty much in like this crazy cycle of just like nothing good. So let's see here. And it's crazy because now the tomatoes we have on our shelves in the store are lacking significantly less vital nutrients. And so this is showing up in our population because 92 to 98% of Americans are mineral or nutrient deficient. So this is really important, you guys. And so going along with regenerative farming and the importance of that, and not just buying organic, because if you say you eat just like a regular conventional carrot off the shelf, like that's great. I think that it is important for us to be eating vegetables and fruits and vegetables. And if you can't afford organic, that is totally fine too. Like, but the significance of regenerative farming comes down to, if you eat a regenerative farmed carrot, you are getting 90 to 200 times higher the nutrient content than just a regular carrot on the shelf. So that's why it is so important for us to be.
This is why these foods are so powerful as far as having regenerative benefits for you, because you're actually getting like a power punch of cellular nutrition that can just be soaked up and utilized immediately as energy. McKenzie, would you like to talk about glyphosate?
Yes. So glyphosate is a neurotoxic chemical that is sprayed on our fields throughout America, and it's labeled as an antibiotic, and it's used as a weed and pest killer. And it's the same, has one of the same ingredients in Roundup. So it kills the ability for us to absorb our essential amino acids. It breaks down the gut lining in our stomach, and it creates mucoid plaque in our intestines that again helps eliminates the ability to absorb nutrients, amino acids, everything good that we try to put in our body just goes away. It's sprayed nationally, and in Missoula, we spend $20,000 on it annually. It's a water-soluble toxin that's been found in 75% of our air and drinking water. So even unfortunately now, with the time that we live in, our organic food can now start to have glyphosate due to the water-soluble properties of it, and it being sprayed in the air, it transferring through the water, everything in between through that lovely little bridge.
The Mississippi River is now 75% glyphosate. It's disgusting. It's a huge problem.
So organic grapes, they're little pockets of glyphosate because they are water.
Not organic.
Yeah, non-organic, but even with kind of how everything goes through water and air, it's starting to become a very scary thing where even organic type of food can start to have those properties. Over the last 25 years, we've seen the most profound explosion in chronic disease in human history, as in everything from physical to mental and birth defects, all of that sad, unfortunate things that we're dealing with in this newfound culture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we glyphosate is pretty much starts to remove or not able to absorb amino acids, which are the building blocks of our body. The body is made out of 200,000 proteins, which are made out of amino chains. Chains include 26 amino acids, just like the 26 letters of the alphabet. If you start taking vowels out of your sentences and your words, they will make absolutely no sense. Just like if you start taking the building blocks out of the body, your body will not be able to function in the way that it's supposed to.
Sorry, you kind of already touched on this. It's a little bit of a repeat slide, but
Yeah, no, this is same with the beginning. It's a very important thing. That's why we're touching on it so much.
yeah.
So when, especially the 9 essential amino acids that you get from plants, if you lose that, you are going to lose tens of thousands of protein structures, which you lose tens of thousands of functionality and form. Those 9 essential amino acids can't be made by the body. You must obtain them by food in the plant kingdom. So if we don't have them being absorbed or being absorbed, but not in the right way due to malnutrition and all of that, the lovely practice that we're going through right now, your vowels are gone, your amino acids are gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we do not do anything about this in the next 10 years, 1 in every 10 people will have autism in the United States. So that is scary for multiple reasons. For family, as in obviously that's a big stressor, financially, mentally, everything with having to take care of an autistic child or autistic person in the family, as well as societal. If 1 in every 10 people having autism in the next 10 years, that is going to completely change our society with how we function, with how we do normal life. And so it's a big, scary thing of a big change that can happen negatively due to what we are putting in our body, what's supposed to be good.
And a cool thing is that when people start getting glyphosate out of their bodies, autism symptoms start dropping away. And like, I'm not saying that like autism can be reversed completely, but I have seen autism improve, and like people going from nonverbal to actually talking full sentences and engaging and making full eye contact. Like, these things are possible when you start getting this toxicity out of your system.
Interesting.
So let's talk about gut health, because it is essential to human life, and the gut-brain axis has everything to do with it. And a lot of people don't understand what that's about. 80% of our hormones are made in the gut. 90% of our serotonin, 50% of our dopamine, 9 out of 10 of our neurotransmitters go from the gut to the brain, not the other way around. So the gut is telling the brain what to do all the time. And the gut talks to the hypothalamus, which is in charge of all of our unconscious actions, which talks to the pituitary, which is in charge. It's our master hormonal gland, and she gets to boss around all the other glands and tell them what to do. She's like, thyroid, do this, adrenals, do that. And so then they will become dysregulated when the pituitary is out of whack or not getting the right signals from the gut. So when we're eating junk food and all this stuff all the time, we're actually disrupting this hormone balance on a huge level. And when we're eating glyphosate and breaking apart those tight junctions in the gut lining, this also is breaking that gut-brain axis. So when you have hormonal imbalance, the first thing that I want to address is going back to the gut, because that's going to get to the root cause of the issue. And actually, if you repair the gut, then you no longer need all the Band-Aids, you know? So I'd love to just illuminate this fact, because it's really not common knowledge, and I feel like it could be. I'm not going to should on us. So healthy solutions, what can we do here? There are lots of solutions, and I used to be a huge pessimist as far as we're all screwed, you know, there's nothing to be done, but there is, and one person can make a difference. Don't doubt yourself. You can have a huge impact on the world. But some general ideas for things, just little things we can do, is buy local from a farm or store you trust, or find a regeneratively farmed farm. They are out there. Nutrient dense foods, organic and non-GMO food whenever possible. And those 2 labels are necessary to actually ensure that you're not getting a high load of chemical pesticides on there. Ask what your farming practices are for the local farms. I have been shocked when I go to the farmers market and I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? And what they tell me is not what I want them to tell me. So ask questions, get curious. Spread the word about glyphosate and the health of the soil, because people don't know this. They don't realize that our soils are depleted and that we're mineral deficient, and like we have all these symptoms coming up and we're like, why is this happening? But these are the root causes of a lot of things that are going on out there. Get involved environmentally if that speaks to you, to your heart, to help restore ecosystems and encourage regenerative farming. Grow your own if you have the resources and the healthy topsoil to do so. This is tricky, but you can build healthy topsoil too if you make your own manure and those kinds of things. Cottonwood trees and buffalo manure, actually, they create a lot of microbacteria that's great for the soil. So those are wonderful resources. Hire a regenerative health practitioner if you want to reverse some kind of condition or disease in your body, because this is totally doable. There are ways to go about this without allopathic medicine. And even if you're on medication, you know, we can work in tandem with your doctor and work as you go. And most clients end up at some point getting off of their medication. Join our Rise Up Wellness team. We are a team of individuals that are working hard to illuminate and educate the world around what is going on and provide healthy solutions for them. So that is also an option for you. So how to best support the body. So Purium is a company that we all work with. They are beyond the top 1% of the cleanest, most nutrient-dense foods in the whole world, guaranteed. They triple test everything for contaminants, and it's their mission to make nutrient-dense food available everywhere, which really speaks to my heart, because there are so many food deserts out there, you know, and there's so many areas where it's easier to get a grape soda than a handful of grapes. So people need resources. So this can be shipped anywhere as well. In the United States, there are a few countries that we aren't shipping to yet, like Africa. But there are no binders, fillers, additives, or sweeteners in there. They are family owned. It's really a mom and pop organization. The guy who started this company actually was responsible for creating the organic label back in the 1970s. He made that happen. So I do trust what he's doing. He was also a spy for the USDA, making sure that they were doing safe farming practices and following organic farming practices if they say that they're organic, so he knows what he's doing. They have the glyphosate solution. So they are the first company ever to create a product that is scientifically proven to remove glyphosate from your body up to 74% within 6 weeks of taking it. People are noticing autoimmune symptoms drop away, energy picks up, weight drops off, like all sorts of things start happening when you get this toxin out of your body. Commerce with a Conscience, they are working hard to go completely plastic free. And they are also, they work on really minimizing the amount of carbon emissions that are taken in order to distribute their food all over the place. And they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you want to just give it a whirl, there's no risk at all, which is super cool. So that's one of my main nutritional supports that I use for all of my clients. We have some protocols that get rapid results, like literally what used to take people a couple of years to do, they can do in 3 or 4 months, which is breathtaking. So these are some other tools that I use with my clients, wildcrafted herbal tinctures, because again, we want to give the body the right support in order to bounce back from and like open up those elimination pathways so you can actually get the waste out, because the stagnation is the main thing. These things can sit in our body and just not move around when we have too much congestion. So the tinctures can start nurturing different organs and glands and also moving the lymphatic system once those elimination pathways are open. The Ion Biome by Dr. Zach Bush is an incredible tool for repopulating the gut biome. Fulvic and humic acids are also really beneficial for repairing the tight junctions in the gut lining. Zeolites, I am working with a new company, which is, they have groundbreaking things happening. It's super exciting. And basically a zeolite is a heavy metal and toxin scavenger for your body. And these new ones that I'm working with are nanoparticleized, so you can take them no matter what you're eating. Normally with zeolites, you need to make some diet changes, but these ones, again, groundbreaking. Doesn't matter what you're putting in your body, you can take them anytime. And they're magnetically charged to pull in toxins and heavy metals. They have like a cage-like structure, and then swiftly carry them out of your body. So those are really powerful. People can start feeling lighter and brighter and more energy fast with those. The nanosilvers that I work with knock out pathogens and viruses and parasites. It's just going in there and literally like tagging trees, being like, you need to be taken out, and you need to be taken out, you need to be taken out. And then the zeolites come back in. We do another round of those guys to go and clean up the lymphatic system. And then minerals. Our mineral needs are even more important than our nutritional needs sometimes, because we have to get them from outside sources. We can't make them within our bodies. And like tissue salts and those sorts of things are essential to human life. But the cool thing is that our body can actually make tissue salts out of whole foods. So your fruits and your vegetables, when you eat them, they can like convert that into minerals for you. It's pretty amazing. So what I want you to take away from this is struggling is optional. There are healthy solutions out there. Allopathic medicine is not the only option. And when we give the body the right support, it really can do beautiful, incredible things. So I just want to ask you all, like, who do you know that needs help? Because people are having radical transformations pretty fast. And we would love to just offer healthy solutions to anybody who's praying for those. So I'd like to open it up now to a little Q&A. If anybody has any questions, please just come off mute and ask away.
What was that company? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Oh, no, you're okay. What's the
What
question?
was that company with first? It started with the P for the vegetables.
Yeah, Purium.
Purium. Okay.
If you're interested in them, whoever invited you to the call, please reach out to them afterwards and we can send you some more information about that.
Okay.
We do have some discount codes for you and stuff too, like off your first order, you can get $50 off or 25% off depending on how much you purchase.
Okay.
Just to give you a little boost to start you
Ooh,
off. Yeah.
thank you.
I'm gonna stop recording here.